This is the start of the June vlog, and I was about to go and sit where I usually do on my bed near the window, especially because it's getting a bit dark outside. It looks like it's gonna absolutely chuck it down with rain. But I was sat here this morning filming my April and May reading wrap up, and I thought, do you know what, I'm gonna start the vlog here because we don't really sit here all that often in the vlog. This is the start of the June video. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell in my voice that I haven't been very well recently. I have actually had a little bit of a summer cold, and anyone who's been here for a long time will know that this happens to me a lot. When the weather changes, my body just cannot deal with it, and I end up with a cough, a chesty cough, like all of that kind of stuff. And I tried to get on top of it as best as I could. So I actually feel like it's not been as bad as it could have been, but it has been here and I've not been feeling that great. I am hoping in June we're going to get some decent weather, and within that I can get some decent reading done. So these are the ones that I've picked, and I guess we'll just go through them. The first book that I've picked is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. I read Cleopatra and Frankenstein in April, and I've always been intrigued by Blue Sisters ever since it came onto my radar. And this did intrigue me a bit more than Cleopatra and Frankenstein did. And this is the book that I'm currently reading. I have made a start on it. I'm not very far into it. The next book on my TBR is The Martian by Andy Weir. I was on the Project Hail Mary hype. Like, I was so caught up in the Project Hail Mary hype, and I knew that I wanted to get around to reading this and give this a chance and see how it compared. I don't think anything is going to live up to Project Hail Mary for me, but I am anticipating that I'll enjoy this one. Also, a mutual that I have on TikTok has read this and has been asking me if I've got around to reading it and what I thought of it. So I'm also intrigued to read it and see what I think of it. Next one is kind of a rogue one. I've been meaning to get around to reading this for a while, but it's not within my typical reading genre and reading interest, so I am a little bit nervous to get into it and how I'm going to enjoy it and what I'm going to think of it. But it is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I said it's not within my typical reading interest, but I have been so intrigued by this book series, and this is the first one. I do try to dabble outside of my reading interests every so often, but it has to be something that really intrigues me, and this really intrigues me, so. And then the final book that I put on my TBR is one that I picked up recently, and it's also a book that I've never heard of before, which again is something that I'm always looking for. I'm always looking for a book that I've never heard anything about and it's going to kind of take me by surprise. And it's Meet Me at the Seaside Cottages by Jenny Colgan. The reviews that were put onto the cover of this book were the ones that actually convinced me to buy it. I read what the book was about and I thought I'd really enjoy that. Like, it sounds like something that's really up my street. So those are the books that are on my June TBR, and I'm really looking forward to reading all of these, and I'm very, very excited. I feel like I have a really good mix of things here. I've come to my dad's house because he said that there was a parcel coming today, and if I wasn't busy could I come and watch for it. And the things that I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day I can do here. I don't need to be at home for them. So I've brought my book so that I can read some of my book, and I've brought my laptop so that I can write some of my posts. And I thought I would just take this quick opportunity to show the cats. It's a new month, so they are here and you might want to see them. So here's Charlie. Charlie. Ginny. And Twinny. Oh. So I have about an hour and a half before I have to leave, and I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity to get some reading done. The book that I'm currently reading, I apologise about my voice, the book that I'm currently reading is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. Now, the only kind of comment that I have about this, I'm making progress with it. I'm on page 44, and obviously that's not very far into it, but what I've read so far I am liking. It feels very similar to Cleopatra and Frankenstein in the sense of I think it's gonna take me by surprise in terms of how it actually plays out compared to what I'm expecting in my own head. The only thing is, this book deals with grief. Obviously I'm not that far into it in terms of being able to explain how heavily it deals with that, but it does deal with grief. In total there's 4 sisters and one of the sisters has passed away, and the general gist I get is that it's following the other 3 sisters in them dealing with it. And that's obviously a bit of a heavier topic. I feel like whilst I do think I will enjoy this book, it feels a little bit heavy to be reading right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start one of the other books that is on my TBR as well and kind of read them both together at the same time. So I think I'm going to start this one, Meet Me at the Seaside Cottages by Jenny Colgan, and I'm going to kind of interchange between the two and read the two. To be honest with you, I don't actually know anything about this book. Obviously I've read the back, but I don't actually know anything about it. For all I know, this could be a heavy book. When I looked it up on Goodreads, it is listed as a romance, so I'm not expecting it to be that heavy, which is why I thought this one, compared with the other 2 that were on my TBR, would be a good one to read alongside Blue Sisters. This is probably not the best angle, and it's probably a bit of an awkward angle, but we're currently redecorating the kitchen and I've tried to sit somewhere where you can't see peeling paint and things, because the walls are waiting to be papered. But what I wanted to come and talk about is yesterday I got 2 new piercings. I didn't intend on getting 2, but she marked 2 out and I was like, okay, yeah, I may as well just get the 2 at once. I think eventually I might put one on this ear. It's been a long time since I had my lobe piercings done, but I am still fully aware that a lobe piercing, I think 99.9% people will agree, a lobe piercing is the easiest piercing you will ever get done. It's the easiest to get done and it's the easiest to heal because it's probably one of the only areas of your body that is complete, like flesh. Like there's no cartilage, there's no bone, there's no nothing. The jewellery that I've got in it right now is just the swelling jewellery that they put in. It's standard with all piercings that you get done as a precaution, just in case. Again, they're lobe piercings, so I'm not really expecting that to happen. But so I not long since got up and I've got dressed and got ready for the day. It's just a nice chilled day, so no makeup or anything, but I feel like I've mentioned it a couple of times that I'm reading this book and this is what I'm reading and so on. There is a reason that I'm saying this. As I'm filming this clip, about to post the first post on a new mini project that I've started, or I'm planning to start, because as I'm filming this clip I haven't started it yet. Today, as I'm filming this clip, I am planning to start a new kind of mini project and something that I have wanted to do for a little while. Not too long ago I posted a TikTok where I spoke about books that I feel like I recommend a lot, and when people are talking to me about books I feel like they're the books that I am constantly talking about. And I received a comment on that TikTok which was so lovely, which said like it was nice to hear of some books that you don't really hear about all that much, because a couple of the books that I mentioned was The Snow Child by Ewan Ivey and The Toy Makers by Robert Dinsdale. I'm going to assume that they're the books that they were talking about, because the other books that I mentioned was Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, which obviously has had its moment recently, and The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris, which I feel like isn't as popular, but for its genre it's quite a popular book, so I feel like it was the other two books. I've sat on that comment for a little while, and it as a reader, it really made me feel really good. Honestly, I personally don't see any problem with what people read. Like, if you like to read popular books, that is completely fine. I mean, I still read popular books and popular authors and authors that are having their moments on social media. I've read the Dream Harbour series and will continue to read it. I read Emily Henry books from time to time. I have some John Steinbeck books on my shelves. Who else have we got? I'm getting into, like, I recently bought a Stephen King book. Like, the popular ones are still there and they're still being read. Sally Rooney. What else have we got? Abby Jimenez. I have the Harry Potter series. Like, the popular ones are still there and they're still being read and they are still being well loved. But this comment plucked up something in my mind. I'm very reluctant to call it a book club because there is no book club structure to it. Instead, it's just a informal blog that has the structure of a book club. I guess it's a book club without a book club. I am in my like writing era and I'm really enjoying writing at the moment, and I have a blog on Tumblr called Gem is Reading, and it's where I talk about all things books. But it's a mix of everything. It's my own posts and then posts that I've seen from other people that I also would like to share that I like. Recently I decided to restructure a blog I had that I wasn't using and make it into something that I would use. So I've gave it a whole new rebrand, and today I'm gonna post the first post on there, so to kind of get the ball rolling. So I've called it Reading the Unknown, and the plan is to only talk about books that don't get talked about on social media. And it all came from that comment that I received. I just had this moment where I was like, wait, hold on. A lot of the books that I read are me trying to find hidden gems, me trying to find books that I don't hear about online, and kind of finding those hidden masterpieces that just don't get the same hype as some other books. And then it hit me. I was like, oh my god, that is what I have to offer. That is what I can bring to the space. I just want to point out, if you make content about books, if you're interested in making content about books, or you watch and interact with content about books, I don't think that there's anything wrong with someone talking about the books that other people are talking about, because someone might not watch the same two creators, so your content or the content of one person might be the only content that that person's getting for those particular books, you know? So I don't think there's anything wrong with multiple people talking about the same books. But for me, I've always been kind of looking for the thing that I can bring to the space. That it's not that other people aren't doing it, it's just not being done as much. The content that I've already been putting out, so the monthly wrap-up videos on here, and the book blog that I've had for a little while now, the Gem is Reading one, is not going to be changing. That is going to be staying exactly the same, the content's going to be staying exactly the same, and that is going to feature my reading overall. Like, it's going to feature all of it. The new blog that I'm starting, the Reading the Unknown one, is gonna focus and highlight and pinpoint the books that I read I don't hear spoken about as much on social media. Now, one thing that I have thought about and I have factored is this is very subjective, in the sense of it's going to depend completely on your algorithm. For example, the book that I'm currently reading, I've not heard about online. I've not heard anyone talking about it. I've not seen it, no nothing. I picked this up purely because I saw it on the shelf in Waterstones and it really sounded like something that I would enjoy reading. Your algorithm may look completely different and you might have heard people talking about this book. So the general gist is talking about books that I haven't heard about on social media, and how I'm interpreting that for the blog is that the books that I read on there or talk about on there are books that I picked up purely because I saw it and it sounded like something that I would like to read. They're not ones where it's like, I heard so-and-so on social media talking about it, so now I'm going to pick it up. I heard so-and-so talking about it on social media, so now I'm going to pick it up. I have already started reading this book before I started the blog. However, I am going to use this book as the first book for the blog. Obviously, this is a brand new idea. I'm really excited to give it a go. But it does need to get its feet, and I do need to get the ball rolling, and I am not being naive. It might not work. It might not work in the long run. So what I'm telling myself is, because we're halfway through the year, or we're coming up to halfway through the year, what I'm telling myself is, for the rest of 2026, it's just going to run as the blog. And I'm just going to make the posts on there and I'm going to see how it goes. I will kind of mention it because obviously when I do the reading wrap-ups, I'll be like, I spoke about this on the blog, or if I post like on TikTok and things, I will probably mention it at some point. So it will kind of have a little overlap, but the general content for it is going to be on the blog. I have thought about other posts and things that I can incorporate. For example, I have been quite interested in the idea of making some reading vlogs, and I can always incorporate more things in the future. I'm not making a reading vlog for this book, but just as an example, if I was to make a reading vlog for this book, when I post it, we can interact in the comments about what we thought about it and all of that kind of stuff. And all it requires from anyone else is to just read the post and interact with it. That's literally it. For now, I'm just keeping it really simple, really base level until I find my feet with it and see if I think it works in the long run. And over time we'll see what works, and we'll see kind of what we're missing and what additional things would be nice to add and so on. But as of right now, I'm really excited about it, and I feel like this is something, as someone who reads and talks about books online in some capacity, I felt like this was something that I could kind of bring to the space and bring to my own pages and platform and whatever. I don't really have much else to share right now because obviously I haven't got the ball rolling yet, but I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go and make a cup of tea, I'm gonna get my breakfast, and I'm gonna introduce the blog and get it uploaded. I think just because I get nervous when I'm starting new things anyway, so I am a little bit nervous, but I am just keeping in mind, like, you never know until you try. Like, genuinely, you never know until you try. And what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work and I stop doing it. That's literally the worst that can happen. But yeah, if you like following on my content, and especially my reading, that might be something that you'd like to check out. So I will leave it linked in the description box and you can check it out if you'd like to. I've been working on the book blog that is a book club without a book club. And I put a post on my regular book blog where I said that I'd started this new blog, and I also said that I am going to call my regular book blog a book blog and the other book blog a book club, just simply because that's kind of the structure of them both, and by giving them both different titles it helps to differentiate between the two. So I am going to call it a book club, but I am a little bit reluctant with that, just simply because it is still so new and I'm finding my feet with it. Something that I think I also want to do alongside that blog to kind of bring it together and to bring the book club into the rest of the space is, I think I want to start and make reading vlogs again, but only for the books that feature as the book club pick. The reason for this is some of my favourite videos that I've ever made in the entire time that I've had this YouTube channel are the Harry Potter reading vlogs. I'm not gonna lie to you, I watch them back every so often. I enjoy watching them. I enjoy the way that I edited them and how it came together. I really don't resonate with curated content anymore, just for myself, not for other people. What I mean by that is actually sitting and planning and coming up with ideas. It just doesn't work for me anymore. I much prefer the more kind of in the moment stuff that doesn't really require anything from me. I just kind of record everything and then work it out when I come to edit it. Obviously I do the monthly wrap-up style videos as well, but again, they don't really require anything from me. I just do my reading, and then when the month ends I just talk about it. So that also kind of works naturally. So when it came to me thinking about reading vlogs and thinking about kind of how I could make them work for the type of content that I like to make, but also bring them back in the sense of like, I enjoyed those when I made them and I'd like to make more in the future. The biggest hurdle was kind of what books am I gonna pick, because obviously I read generally, so how am I gonna be like, okay, this is the book that I'm gonna pick for the reading vlog? And it occurred to me that actually I could make a reading vlog, one a month, for the book that I pick for the book club. So I bought the new camera for that purpose, and that is the purpose of me buying this new camera, for me to use it for the reading vlogs. I am gonna just point out, I don't know if the reading vlogs are gonna stick. I don't know if I'm gonna, like, how I'm gonna feel about it. I feel like because I'm only planning to do one a month, it's gonna be all fine and well. But I bought this camera. This is the Canon PowerShot V10. I saw a couple of people talking about this camera and how, you know, it's marketed as a camera for vlogging and content creating, and whilst I'm not necessarily a content creator, I just kind of make what I want to make and put it out when I want to put it out. I thought that this would be a nice little camera to consider for that. And then when I went on to look at it, it was on sale, and it was on sale for half the price. And I figured, as someone who likes filming their life anyway, like, I would do this even for myself to keep on my external hard drive and watch back in the future. I figured buying the camera whilst it was on sale made the most sense, because even if I didn't stick to the reading vlogs, I would still use this camera in my daily life, and I would use it as the camera that kind of filmed everything that I wasn't putting online and things. So I could definitely still find a use for this camera even if the reading vlogs don't stick. Over the course of the rest of June, I am going to kind of film the odd clip on this camera just so that I can see what it's like, and I think the odd clip I'm going to film is in relation to this book, but it will be in this vlog. It won't be in its own separate video. But going forward, the plan is to do a separate video which will be a reading vlog of each book that I pick for the book club blog. I had never heard of any of these books. They just really stood out to me. Two of them were actually on the table where it said buy one get one half price, so that's why I ended up buying 3 books. I didn't have any intention to buy 3. I only had intention to buy 1, but I came out with 3 because 2 of them were on that table, and then the other one I just saw it and I haven't read a book quite like it for a while, so I thought I would pick it up and give it a go. The book that actually caught my attention on the buy one get one half price table was this one, Table for One by Emma Gannon. And I'd never heard of this book before, but the cover really drew me in, and then obviously when I read what the book is about, I was also very intrigued. So this was one of the books that had the buy one get one half price sticker on it, so I kind of had a look around the tables that had stickers on them, and I came across this book which I didn't even know existed, and this is The Wish by Heather Morris. Heather Morris was the person who wrote The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which is one of my favourite books, and I've read every single book that Heather Morris has written to date, and I believe that this is her latest release. And I didn't even know it existed, but I saw it on the table. It had the buy one get one half price sticker on it, and I figured that I should pick it up and I should read it. And then the final book that I picked up is a book in a genre that I do like to look at and I am intrigued by, but I'd never heard of. So it's She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinka and Naruki Nagakawa, and it was translated by Ginny Tapley Tekamori. I apologise if I've pronounced any of those names wrong. This camera battery is running out, so I'm going to be very quick with this. I have read numerous Japanese literature that has been translated into English over time, and I have come to really enjoy some of it, so it is a genre that I like to constantly look in within kind of translated fiction. So I picked up this book as well, and all three of these books I had never heard of, but they all just really intrigued me, so I decided to pick them up. So it's still the same day, but I just got a message from my dad asking if I can go to his, because he just has to pop out somewhere, but Ginge is fast asleep in the shed, and my dad's a bit of a softie when it comes to the cats, so instead of making Ginge come out the shed so he can shut it while he goes out, he's asked me if I'll just go around there so that he doesn't have to shut it. So I'm going to my dad's. I'm going to take my book with me and read whilst I wait for my dad to get back. I can get some more reading done. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to take my camera with me, the new one that I said I was trialling out. And yeah, I think that's everything. So I'm going to go to my dad's. So the next clips that you should see in this will be like reading clips, and they'll be filmed on the other camera. What I'm going to do when I edit this video back is I'm going to specify on the screen when I'm using the other camera, and then hopefully you'll be able to tell the difference. Okay, I've played around with some of the settings. I think I've messed with the setting that does the stabilisation so that it's not as shaky when I'm moving around, and I've messed with the setting that changes the brightness when it's a little bit darker. He's just patiently waiting for his biscuits. I know, Charlie, I'm gonna get you some. So we'll see what difference that's made and how effective it is. But I am gonna give Charlie some biscuits now because he's waiting very patiently, and then I'm gonna read. So I've edited the April vlog, I've exported it onto my external hard drive, and I'm gonna see if I've got chance to upload it today. I'm gonna upload it at my dad's house because his internet works quicker than ours. So I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna try and upload it and see if I can get it uploaded. There's only a couple of days left of June and I've only finished one book, so I feel like there might not be a reading wrap up in June. There might just be the monthly vlog. That is where I'm at now. I'm just turning my computer off. I'm gonna get changed and I'm gonna go to my dad's and I'm gonna try and upload this vlog. That's Ginger's teddy from when we first got him and he was a kitten, and he used to sleep with it all the time. I didn't bring my tripod because I had no plans to film anything. I just brought the camera just in case, but I'm currently uploading the vlog like I said I was gonna, and it's almost halfway through, and I thought while I were waiting for it I would read more of my book, and so far I'm really liking it. I'm really enjoying it, so yeah, just thought I'd give like a little update. So I'm actually going to end this vlog here, and then we are ready and raring to start the vlog tomorrow. I do like the vlogs to have a clear start and end point, which is why I like to introduce them and outro them. And yeah, if you watched this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you again for the July monthly vlog.